Yeah. Insects usually have small holes called spiracles, which help in exchange of gases. The gas that enters through these spiracles enters into body through tube-like structures called trachea. These trachea are branched inside the body. So they'll be branched inside the body, this side also. They are branched inside the body. They distribute the carbon oxygen in the entire body and collect carbon dioxide from all parts of the body. Again, through the same spiracles, carbon dioxide will come outside. This type of respiration is called as tracheal respiration. Tracheal respiration. Tracheal respiration is seen in insects. But in some organisms like spider, instead of this tracheal sheets, there are, instead of trachea, they have sheet-like structures, and they are not called as trachea. These are called as trachea. But in case of spiracles, instead of this tube-like structures, there are sheet-like structures. Okay, one sheet is up, one sheet below, and this sheet will have branches. Sheet-like structures are spread in the body. They are called as book lungs. This is also one type of tracheal respiration only. Next, respiration in organisms like earthworm, cutaneous respiration in frog, earthworm, respiration occurs through moist skin. It is a organism like this. So I'll draw it here. Usually, over the skin there is a layer of moisture. Moisture is present over the skin. So, oxygen dissolves in this moisture first, then through skin it is entering into the body. When carbon dioxide comes out also, it dissolves in this moisture. From moisture it escapes into the air. Okay? Here for these organisms to keep their body moist is very important. Okay? This type of respiration through skin is called as cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration is seen in organisms like frog, earthworm, etc. These organisms release out oxygen from air into oxygen into moist skin, moisture. From there, it enters through skin into body. When it goes out, it goes in reverse. From body through skin, carbon dioxide enters into moisture, from there into air. Okay. So for these organisms which respire through moist skin, skin should be always moist. You might have seen earthworm always grows into water, ground. It grows into the soil. Why? In the soil, wet There is a moisture in the soil that helps to keep its skin wet. If it is in the open air, there is more chance for evaporation. To avoid evaporation due to moisture, it goes into underground to keep its skin moist. Okay. The same thing happens with frog also. Frog eventually at very regular intervals jumps into water. Why it jumps in water? It should not get its skin dried. That is the reason. Okay. Next, what is respiration through lungs? Okay, respiration through lungs occurs in all terrestrial organisms. Respiration in terrestrial organisms. Respiration in terrestrial organisms. What do you mean by terrestrial organisms? The organisms that live on land. What are the organisms that live on land? Reptiles like snake, lizards, birds. They are aerial, but they don't live in water. So you can call them aerial organisms or terrestrial organisms. And what else? All mammals. All these organisms are terrestrial organisms. Even amphibian, when it is on land, it respires through lungs. All these organisms respire through lungs. This type of respiration is called as pulmonary respiration. Pulmonary respiration. Okay, we have seen about tracheal respiration, cutaneous respiration, pulmonary respiration. There is another type of respiration called bronchial respiration, which is seen in fishes. In this type of respiration, fishes. Let us take this as a fish. It has a structure like this. This is called as operculum. Operculum is a flap-like structure, flap-like structure that covers gills, that covers gills. Do all fishes have operculum? No, all fishes do not have operculum. Some will have the gills directly open. If you remove this operculum, you can see that there are gills here, like this. They are interconnected like this, red color. These gills are usually red in color and distributed with a lot of blood capillaries. These are gills which are below operculum if it is present. If operculum is not present, it's just as exposed. Okay. These gills are usually red in color. Red in color. Why they are red in color? they have more blood vessels. More blood vessels. So how does the respiration occurs in fish is, fish takes the water inside through the mouth. When water is entering into the body, it passes through this gill slits. There is an opening, it goes out, and when a operculum opens, it comes out of this opening. During that time, water is passing over the gills. When water is passing over the gills, here blood vessels are present. So, the oxygen exchange occurs directly between the blood vessel of gills and between the water. Water has oxygen in it that will enter into the blood vessels in gills. And blood vessels in gills have carbon dioxide that enters into water. It is coming out. So you might have seen sometimes you have some fishes in your aquarium also. They keep on opening and closing the mouth. Fishes have that nature. They keep on opening and closing the mouth. That is because they need to take some what is uh, water in small units so that exchange of gases occurs between its gills and water, right? This type of respiration is called as bronchial respiration. Bronchial respiration. So what we have seen till now, four types of respiration. Let's list out once. First type of respiration, cutaneous respiration. What is the organ of respiration? Skin. In which animals it is occurring? Earthworm, frog. Examples. Second type of respiration, tracheal respiration. Tracheal respiration. What is the organs? What is the organs of respiration in this? Trachea and spiracles. Trachea and spiracles. Example for organisms, insects. Third one. Uh, Next one, pulmonary respiration. Pulmonary respiration is, what is the organ of respiration? Lungs. In which organisms? All terrestrial organisms. All organisms that live on land. Fourth one, bronchial respiration. In which organisms it occurs? This occurs in bronchial respiration occurs in okay, what are the organs of respiration? Gills. It occurs in fishes. So this is very important. Now I'll say you one important thing about respiration in frog. In frog, there are three types of respiration. Can you guess what are they? What are the three types of respiration in frog? First one is cutaneous respiration occurs through skin when it is present in water. Next, pulmonary respiration occurs through lungs when it is on land. There is a third type of respiration called buccopharyngeal respiration. Buccopharyngeal respiration also occurs in frog. What is this respiration? When it occurs, whether it is on land, whether it is on in water. In both cases, it occurs. What type of respiration is this? Frog, the buccal cavity of frog, and what is buccal cavity? The cavity inside the mouth is called as buccal cavity. Just below that, the area which is common between your nasal cavity and buccal cavity is called as pharynx. The skin that is covering buccal cavity, the skin that is covering pharynx also participates in exchange of gases. That is called as buccopharyngeal respiration. The skin that covers buccal cavity, the skin that covers pharynx also participates in respiration. That is called as buccopharyngeal respiration. Okay. Now, respiration in plants. Respiration in plants. We have been studying from many years that lower surface of leaf have holes called stomata, which are guarded by guard cells. They are guarded by guard cells. These are the cells that are present adjacent to the guard cells. So this is stomata structure. So this helps in exchange of gases. In daytime, carbon dioxide goes in, oxygen comes out. In night time, oxygen goes in, carbon dioxide comes out. Okay, that is the stomatal respiration in plants. Apart from stomatal respiration, there is another respiration called lenticular respiration. Lenticular respiration. Respiration that occurs through lenticels. Lenticels, what are these lenticels? On the stem of the plant, there are small holes through which exchange of gases occurs. These small holes are called as lenticels. These are very useful for stem respiration in the leaf fall season, when in the spring season, when plants do not have leaves. At that time, the green stems participate in respiration also and photosynthesis also. Okay. In case of these lenticels which are present on stem, they help in exchange of gases from external environment similar to the stomata. It is not present in all plants. If you have a curry leaf plant at your home, observe the stem of the plant. There are so many lenticels over the stem of curry leaf plants. Next, are these only two parts that participate in respiration? No, it's not like that. Total plant participates in respiration. Okay, all parts of the plant, all the living parts of the plant, leaves, stem, sprouts, roots, all the plants perform respiration. That is, they give out, take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide like us. But compared to compare compared to photosynthesis, this process is very less. So it's generally not discussed. You can test that all parts are participating in respiration or not. You can test it. Like suppose let us take sprouts. Sprouts are, you can even make it at home. Take them in a beaker and put some lime water in this. Lime water should be kept and it should be covered. Take your sprouts in this. After few hours, you will see that lime water turns milky white. Why do lime water turn milky white? When there is carbon dioxide only. That means sprouts are releasing carbon dioxide. Okay? You can also test if you have a small thermos flask in your home. In that thermos flask, some bottles also, thermos flask bottles are also there. In that you insert the thermometer, record the temperature initially and close the lid tightly. Here also sprouts should be there. If there is any raise in temperature, then sprouts are participating in respiration. Okay, why temperature will release? Why temperature will increase? Because whenever respiration occurs, energy will be released. That energy is released, some part of that energy is released as heat from our body. Okay, even the sprouted seeds will release that heat. So these experiments can be done at your home. You do a similar experiment with non-sprouted seeds which are not sprouted. You simply put it. You will observe there is no change in lime water. There is no change in temperature. You can do this experiment at home. Farmers usually plow the fields to loosen the soil so that some amount of air is present in this. This air is enough for respiration of roots because root hair is distributed in the soil, so that will help in respiration. Okay, so in case of roots, respiration is directly, there is no holes like that, directly into the cells. Respiration air enters directly into the cells of root hair. Okay, there is no need of holes, but sometimes we can see that roots are present in marshy areas. Marshy areas means those areas where there is water continuously. The areas which are having water continuously, like mangroves. In AP we have mangroves near to the water bodies. There are some areas which are continuously logged with water. Their root respiration is not possible. So what plants will do is, stem will have a lenticel. This lenticel will have continuous gap. This gap will be continuous till the root. So when air exchange occurs here, it reaches here also. In this way, root respiration occurs in some plants. Some other plants will develop. This is a plant that is growing. It will develop aerial roots like this. Aerial roots that develop will help in respiration of air. Since it is not possible in the land which is marshy, the roots that grow above the soil, this is a plant. The roots that grow above the soil are called as aerial roots. Aerial roots help in respiration. Okay? Some of the plants like cypress plants have roots like this. Part of the root will grow above the soil and this part will help in aerial respiration. These are also called as aerial roots. Okay. So plants have different ways to take air into their body, but respiration is important for plants also, like animals. Plants also require respiration. Okay, children, that is a complete discussion on respiration.